everyone, and welcome to another segment of astrologyanswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, May the 11th. This is a very important week astrologically because on late Sunday night into early Monday morning, the 11th, Saturn, that taskmaster planet, that planet of major responsibilities, it's also the planet that was indicating contraction, containment, goes retrograde, as it does once a year into early October. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, optimism, goes retrograde on the 14th into October. Venus, the planet of relationships, harmony, creativity, is going retrograde on the 13th, on Wednesday. So these very important planets is appearing to stop and then slowly going backwards. Now, this is a time where you might be feeling a lot of push and pull this week, but the planets are going to appear to stop, an optical illusion, and then slowly start going backwards. They're going backwards to make sure, did you learn the lesson? It's kind of a redo, a resetting, a testing time. And it all depends really on where these planets are, the degree that they're retrograding at. If you have planets several degrees around those degrees of that retrograde planet. And then it will really focus in more specifically what you are having to reflect on and to perhaps redo. But the big thing, before I move on to the daily, is that the planets are going, it's an optical illusion. It appears from the telescope that they've come to a grinding halt. Then very slowly in the coming days, you'll start noticing it going backwards if you're watching through a telescope. So this is a week where you can channel that energy more constructively by being still, by not pushing, not feeling impatient. A good week for meditation, a good week for just centering yourself and just letting whatever happens, because this is the best week to start not keep anxiety and pushing forwards and all this anxiousness that we've been through for so many weeks, but to just sit still and reflect. Now on Monday, the 11th, as Saturn has just retrograded, communication Mercury. Mercury tells me what's on your mind. It is going into Gemini once a year for the next 4 weeks or so. The Mercury is at home in Gemini. Gemini is all this communication, flexible, adaptable, wanting to talk to everybody, brainstorming ideas. That's Gemini. That's Mercury. Mercury in Gemini is just going to be stimulating all these ideas and really want to get out there and reconnect to the world. Now, the moon is in Capricorn, that sets the public tone, and it's going to be in harmony with the Taurus Sun. So and I think that goes along with Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, stopping, because Capricorn and Saturn and Capricorn ruled by Saturn, is this more patient, pragmatic energy. Tuesday, the moon is now into Aquarius. Aquarius is more humanistic, more group-oriented, more involved with the collective. But a moon in Aquarius wants to be free and rebellious. And where Capricorn, that moon in Capricorn is, let's do our duty, let's take responsibilities, let's play by the rules. Moon in Aquarius, let's just break the rules. Let's break out of all this restrictedness. But as the moon goes into Aquarius at 8:40 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, it's immediately going to be crossing over Saturn for those next couple of hours. So Moon Saturn once a month, either you're feeling very frustrated and contained, and then you're just really that restlessness of really wanting to break out, or this is a time to just be still. Mercury reinforces that positively. The thinking communication Mercury, just in Gemini, will be in harmony with Saturn in Aquarius. They're both air signs. Saturn is particularly intense because it's hardly moving at all. And so the Mercury in harmony with Saturn is really favorable for business, for common sense, for even starting any new projects. You're going to be a lot more logical. Then on Wednesday the 13th, Venus is going retrograde till June the 25th. Venus retrograde every year and a half, wants to test relationships, evaluate relationships. This month, Venus will be earlier this month. Venus already was squaring Neptune. That's a conflicted energy. And when it goes retrograde, it's within 1 degree of squaring the Neptune. And in a couple of more weeks, as the Neptune is now going backwards, it'll be conflicting with that Neptune again. Venus-Neptune, you don't know what to believe. You're confused. Am I really in love? Again, don't make any rash decisions. Be still. Meditate. Then on Thursday, Jupiter. Jupiter gives all its promises. Every year when it goes retrograde, those promises seem to get more delayed, or what is promised is smaller. Jupiter rules travel. Jupiter rules education. And those areas may be delayed. On Friday, the Sun in Taurus will be in harmony with powerful Pluto. A good day for inner transformation, astrology reading, counseling, soul searching. On the inner, on the outer, excellent for repairs, constructions, just cleaning out the closets. Saturday, the moon is in Pisces and then aligning with Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. More of a day of compassion and empathy. And later that evening, Saturday night, it's in a hard angle to Venus. You're wanting to socialize, but maybe it's not connecting. Or you're still sheltered in place, or you're uncomfortable with large crowds. And then Sunday, the Sun in Taurus will be in harmony with that retrograde Jupiter in Capricorn. Sun, Jupiter, there's a certain amount of hopefulness, optimism, good for studying, because Jupiter seeks knowledge, good for maybe updating your website, because Jupiter is about publishing and marketing. So this is a very important week, like I said. You don't have to figure out what's specific for you. It is a week to just slow it down and let it be. I'm available for a one-question offer at a nominal fee. You can find a direct link to order it in the description box below the video. The time of birth is always important, even if it's an approximation. I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.